The Real Scarface, the brutal, untold story of Mario Tabraue. I think that's how you say it. Okay, it's sick. I like that movie, Scarface.
We all know the scene. A hotel room in Miami. A drug deal gone wrong. The sound of a motor starting. And then, the screaming. When Oliver Stone wrote the movie Scarface, everyone in Hollywood thought he had lost his mind. This is too violent, they said. Nobody cuts people into pieces with a chainsaw. This is fiction. But Oliver Stone didn't make this up. He had access to the secret FBI files of 1980. He read the witness testimonies. He saw the crime scene photos of what was actually left of the bodies. Scarface isn't just a movie. It's a warning. And the man who served as the inspiration for Tony Montana wasn't an actor. He was one of the richest, most powerful, and most sadistic men America has ever known.
This is
Today.
You know what I see though? You know what? I'm gonna save it for that.
I'm going to tell you the story the movie didn't dare to show. To understand who the real Tony Montana was, we first have to understand where he lived. Forget the Chicago of Al Capone. This is about Miami in 1979. The city was drowning in cocaine. And the epicenter of that madness was a place called the Mutiny Hotel. If you watch the movie, you see Tony partying at the Babylon Club. In real life, that was the Mutiny. This was the only place on Earth where federal judges, hitmen, movie stars, and CIA agents sat at the same bar. They drank Dom Perignon at $500 a bottle and paid with duffel bags full of cash. That still smelled like the dirt it had been buried in. And the king of the mutiny? That was a young, handsome Cuban-American exile. He wore gold chains, drove a Mercedes-Benz with bulletproof windows, and was always surrounded by bodyguards. His name was Mario Tabraue. Mario was the mastermind behind an organization the federal government simply called the Enterprise. While Tony Montana starts as a dishwasher in the movie, Mario was an architect of crime. By the time he was 24, he was moving millions. He didn't have a street gang. He had a multinational corporation. But there is one specific detail that proves Tony Montana was based on Mario something so bizarre. No screenwriter could have invented it. The tigers. In the movie, Tony buys a tiger to flaunt his wealth. It seems like a ridiculous Hollywood cliché, but Mario Tabraue actually did this. He ran a business called Zoological Imports. It was the perfect front. While customs agents were searching his trucks for drugs, they found cobras, leopards, monkeys, and tigers. Mario literally walked through his garden with predators on a leash. It was pure intimidation. Who is going to testify against a man who can feed you to his pets? But intimidation wasn't his only weapon. His greatest power was corruption. And this is where reality is far scarier than the movie. In Scarface, we see corrupt cops taking bribes. In Mario Tabraue's world, the cops weren't just corrupt. They worked for him. It has been confirmed in court records. Uniformed police officers, cops on duty, were actually helping Mario unload the drugs. Imagine this. You call the police because you see something suspicious, and the officer who shows up is the one loading the cocaine into his squad car. Mario Tabraue was, in every sense of the word, untouchable. But like every emperor, Mario became paranoid. And paranoia leads to blood. This brings us to the moment the businessman turned into a monster dot in July 1980. A man named Larry Nash made the biggest mistake of his life. Larry was an informant for the ATF. He planned to infiltrate the Enterprise and betray Mario. But Mario's intelligence network was better than the government's. He knew Larry was a rat. What happened next formed the basis for the most notorious scene in film history. Larry Nash was driven to a secluded house. He thought he was going to cut a deal. Instead, he was met by the top executives of the Enterprise. Mario Tabraue was there. They shot him, but they didn't let him die. The order was simple. Nothing of him was to remain. No body, no evidence. In the movie, we see Hector the Toad waving a chainsaw around. In real life, it was even clumsier and more brutal. Witnesses later testified that they first tried to destroy the body with axes and machetes. But the human body is tough. It was taking too long. Someone suggested getting a chainsaw. While Mario watched and perhaps even gave instructions, the informant was sawed into pieces. The body parts were burned in an oven to destroy all DNA. When Tony Montana saw that scene in the movie, he was disgusted. He thought it was dishonorable. But the real Tony, Mario, to him, it was just a Tuesday. It was business. In 1987, the curtain fell. The government launched Operation Cobra. The goal was simple: cut off the head of the snake. The raid on Mario's villa was massive. Helicopters, SWAT teams, federal agents. When they busted him, they found a paper trail. Proof of a criminal empire that spanned the globe. The trial that followed was a media circus. Prosecutors called him the most powerful drug lord to ever stand on American soil. But even in prison, Mario wasn't defeated. And this is where the story completely diverges from the movie. Tony Montana dies in a hail of bullets. He fights to the bitter end. Mario chose a different path. He tried to buy the system. While he was locked up, he tried to arrange a helicopter escape. The plan was insane. Mercenaries were to attack the prison, storm the exercise yard, and pick Mario up in a chopper to fly him to Cuba or South America. The plan leaked. The escape failed, and then came the hammer. The judge sentenced Mario Tabraue to 100 years in prison. Game over. End of story. Or so you would think. 100 years means you die in your cell. But Mario Tabraue is a survivor. He did what Tony Montana would never do. He talked. He gave the government information. So much information that his sentence was drastically reduced. After only 12 years, the man who had people sawed into pieces was walking free on the streets again. And this is the biggest plot twist of all. If you thought Mario would hide in a basement, you are wrong. Do you remember that crazy Netflix documentary during the pandemic, Tiger King? Look closely at the first episode. He is there. Today, Mario Tabraue runs the Zoological Wildlife Foundation in Miami. He is a local celebrity. He gives interviews to YouTubers. He poses with tigers for Instagram models. He is living in the paradise he built with blood money. Tony Montana lost everything. His sister, his wife, his life. But the real Scarface? He won. The story of Mario Tabraue teaches us something uncomfortable about our fascination with gangsters. We love Scarface because it is a tragedy. We see him rise, and we see him fall. It feels like justice. But in the real world, the bad guys don't always fall. Sometimes they just change careers. So the next time you see the poster of Al Pacino, remember who is really hiding behind that scar. A man who proved that if you have enough money and power, you can get away with murder.
Wow. I thought he was dead. I didn't know nothing about that. It's crazy. Um, Man, I'm about to say something near the end, but never mind. He changed up. Hopefully he's a better man now. Not doing no crazy, but you know, that's pretty cool. I think he just found his something that he actually likes to do and will do forever. Is taking care of animals or whatever. That's cool. Um, wow. I'm surprised. I thought this guy was dead, the real guy. And but he did do. I mean, it sounds like he did do a lot more crazier things than what the movie entails. Maybe different parts of it, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's good, man. Good for him. You know, he's still alive doing his thing. Uh, yeah, and I like Scarface. Let me know what you think in the comments uh, about this one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that.